Now that we have your book assembled, you're ready to start creating images. The first one we're going to do is the name page, and that's going to tell us about you. I have an example here. On this page, you'll have a photo of yourself, your name, what year it is, and then a description, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in class. The first thing we're going to do though is get a background painted, and you're going to have some type of border. We did several samples of borders during class, so you can choose one of those styles. Here's an example of what you should be able to accomplish hopefully today. The painting of the background and then some form of a border, either 2 sides or 4 sides. I usually like the 2-sided one, and make sure you do an outline. That'll help hold everything together. I'm going to talk about some different ways to paint the background. So we've already talked about doing the gift card because you've done that several times. But we have some other ways that we can apply the paint as well. We'll have the buckets of paint, just like before. I do have the fluid acrylics. These are a little bit more see-through, a little lighter and thinner. They're very good for doing backgrounds. And then I have the heavier body acrylics that are in the little bottles. And if you would just take the whole basket over to your table and then bring it back that way as well. And let us know if you need any of those filled. The TAs will take care of that for you. When we're applying paint, you can do several different things. We have the wax paper, just like before. The little pieces are up there if you'd grab some for your table each day. That's helpful. We have the brushes. These are the green and red brushes that we're going to be using for the acrylic paint. And at the end of the hour, when you wash them, if you would kind of help reform the bristles, that'll help them stay nice. So after you wash them out, squeeze out the water and then kind of reform the bristles. That helps them stay nice for the next person. So I do have the fluid acrylics, like I said, and then we also have the heavy body. The fluid acrylics work well for the background, so I'm going to choose a couple, and I'm going to show you some different techniques. I have some colors over here. You'll get a big sheet of wax paper, and that's going to go underneath your page you're working on. So I have this page right here. I have my big sheet of wax paper. If you tuck that all the way in and put your page here, that way when you're painting and you kind of go like that, it'll get over here and not on the rest of your book or your other pages, and it helps keep everything nice. So we've done the gift card technique. You could also use a brush and kind of just do a really thin, it's almost like a wash, but in different directions. You could flip back and forth through colors, just getting some color on your background. I have 2 different light colors here. I might even want to introduce a 3rd one. I might add a little bit of gray in there. Okay, and you only need a small amount of paint for this. And just kind of keep going, have fun with that. You can always paint over it if it isn't quite what you wanted. But even with these thinner ones, the glazes, you can see through them. So that's kind of nice because then you can add some other layers that way. Another technique you could use is even just using your finger. And I could do some different colors that way. And you could layer it up. We've also talked about using the baby wipes. The baby wipes have something in them that helps make them a carrying agent for paint. You can put it on, spread it that way. I might even try heavier bodied acrylic. If it goes too thin, which that one might, you could try using this. Try different things. This is all about experimentation too. If you do too much of the baby wipe, then it'll start to pull up your paper. But this is nice and thin. The layers will dry fast, so you can do some other things to them as well. Another thing you can do is glue down pieces of paper. So you could even put down your glaze, glue down some pieces of paper, and then paint over them. So I have my wax paper and I have my extra sheet. We talked about using that to apply the glue so that everything you glue down has glue on all sides of it. Might do a couple. and you can go right over that. You could even use the baby wipe too. So experiment with different things on there, and then you're going to have to add your borders. Happy painting. We'll talk about the rest the next day.